Hey you guys, Tomboy601, and today we're taking out Colbert. And, well, before this game gets started, I should say I received this message before this game began. Yeah, turns out fellow CCs, Hivehound, and Juice da Goose are in the match with me, though I will never see them because I'm pretty much going to stay in this grid square for the remainder of this game because apparently the Colbert needed a buff, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you're unaware, Colbert, one of the legendary French light cruiser kind of weird ship thing, uh, got itself a buff. It received two buffs this past time. The first one is the main battery reload time went from 3.5 seconds down to 3.2 seconds, which we'll see how the reload is on this. And then the amount of HP restored by the repair party was boosted from 180 per second to 238 per second. So a fairly hefty buff right there. Did this ship need it? No, not really. In fact, thanks to the reload buff, I actually took off the reload booster on this ship and instead gave myself more range. And then I went into my commander skills with good old Le Monnier and added extra fire chance. Because that's apparently how you have to play this boat, or I don't know. Because according to Wargaming and to the folks out there, it just doesn't have the battle impact that they were expecting. It has a very low battle impact, i.e., it has a poor carry potential, and because of that, they thought it needed a buff, which is a bit odd. Because I want you to watch what we're about to do to these two battleships, specifically in the way of fire, because I promise you what we're about to do here is nothing new. We're going to do a tactic that was just as good on the previous boat, and will continue to be good right here. I just find it odd that that Wargaming chose to buff Colbert, and that's because of the way Colbert was initially rolled out. Now, if you don't have Colbert, you may be aware of this, or maybe if you're a new join to the game, maybe you don't realize this. Colbert wasn't a free in the bureau project. It in fact was the first and I think only legendary ship so far that required steel in order to obtain. It required 3,000 steel to obtain the project, and then you could research it from there. More importantly, though, it was only available for one update, and I feel like the reason that was given to the community as to why Colbert was only available for one update was they were afraid it was going to be too powerful. Well, I mean, to the players out there who understand it, yes, it's an incredibly powerful ship, but clearly in the wider player base that's now been demonstrated, it isn't a incredibly powerful boat. In fact, it needed additional help, and if that's the case, why buff it? Like, yes, it's fun to have more power in a ship. I don't think Colbert particularly needed it. I think it would have been a even bigger win with the community if they went ahead and put it out for regular research, let people research it again. Because personally, it doesn't seem to have the battle impact. It doesn't seem to have the stats that Wargaming was so afraid that it was going to have, right? And I think in a game where people, have been asking for ships, also, let's enjoy his gearing. I think he expected just to be able to dump torps on us, and we have this beautiful piece of island cover right here that we can just prevent him from dumping torps, and we'll go ahead and take that dev strike. Thank you very much. Like, when you're in a game, when the community wants a boat, I think it would have been a sign of goodwill, especially if, since we had Schlieffen come out this update where they gated it behind a thing, if they came out and were like, hey, Colbert, instead of doing the buff, just said, hey, also returning to the bureau is good old Colbert. The people who've had it have had, the ship was revealed about 7 months ago, so people have had 3 to 4-ish months with it. We like where it is, or clearly they actually need it to be better, but we like where it is. Let's get it out into the community. Even if you didn't do that, do pull a Schlieffen with it. Give people the option. Now, the other thing, what could be happening is we've been slowly teased for a little bit that there's a steel rework going on. That there's a plan as to what's going on with steel as we pick up the Witherer on this poor Yamato who can do nothing, and we set 3 fires on him. This poor guy. There's clearly a plan out there as to what Wargaming wants to do with steel, and that there's either more steel ships coming or a steel rework or something. And we've been seeing a lot of ranked playlists as of recently, which tells me a tea leaf reader that you're gonna want steel. You're gonna want a steel surplus in your coffers. What are they going to do with it? I don't know. Are they going to completely redo Legendary Tier where everything's going to be like the Colbert and you need to buy into Legendary Tier with steel? Honestly, when Colbert was introduced, I was kind of on board for that. I think it's a nice way to gate the progress of Legendary Tier to players who have been around for a little bit. Now, you could say, Tommy, it doesn't matter how long people have been around. They can still be absolute potatoes. And I would say to you, you know what? You are absolutely correct. We get shown this every single day, and we don't learn that lesson. So, how do you fix Legendary Tier? Personally, I don't know, because for me, a lot of my matches have been sort of like this update so far, where we have very one-sidedness, and they tend to happen in steamrolls, either one way or another, which isn't always the most fun. But, hey, that's where we are. And maybe this is just the reality of the current meta. What is that meta? I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't seem like people play particularly strategically. But then again, I totally understand, because I too would just want to go home, enjoy some shooty boats, and make the fireworks go brap brap in the Colbert. So, maybe that's all said and done. But anyways, guys, that's the Colbert buff. He set 16 fires during this match in, in 8 minutes? 9 minutes? In 9 minutes, we set 16 fires. And it's not like we had constant targets. And we pretty much played the entire match from an area about the size of 1, maybe 2 grid squares. So, guys, that's the Colbert buff. Let me know what you think down below. What do you think should happen with Colbert? Should they put it back on sale? Let me know. Anyways, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.